Russian propagandists have seized on Prince William's trip to Poland as an opportunity to further escalate tensions with the West. Maria Zakharova, the spokeswoman of the Russian Foreign Ministry, cited an unfortunately worded article on the historic visit to imply that British troops were not only supporting Ukrainians, but were actively involved in the fighting. Ms. Zakharova quoted from an article on Tatler magazine's website, which described William visiting British and Polish troops involved in the war in Ukraine. She claimed this statement completely dispels any doubts, if anyone has them, whether Britain and Poland are involved parties. The inflammatory effort to stoke tensions was highlighted by Daily Express royal correspondent Richard Palmer as he discussed the significance of William's visit. Speaking to Pandora Forsyth on the Daily Express Royal Roundup, Mr. Palmer argued, however, that the visit was likely not dangerous, as William's trip reflected the views of the UK government, which is a pretty wide consensus, that the Russian invasion of Ukraine is a bad thing, that needs to be resisted. Despite the implication of Tatler's article on the subject, British and Polish troops are not involved in Ukraine, but instead are working to support and train Ukrainian troops. In its statement on the subject, and in William's own remarks regarding his visit, Kensington Palace has stated he is visiting those supporting Ukrainians, not involved in the fighting. Zakharova also dragged William into Russia's criticism of the UK supplying ammunition to Ukraine that contains depleted uranium alongside its Challenger 2 tanks. She said, "I wonder if William Charlesovich has brought depleted uranium ammunition for his troops, using a Russian-style patronymic for the prince." Putin claimed Russia would be forced to act if the UK sent the ammunition, and accused the West of deploying weapons with a nuclear component, willfully ignoring that the munitions being sent are not nuclear weapons and only use a related substance. The Ministry of Defense pointed out that depleted uranium is a standard component and has nothing to do with nuclear weapons, and that Britain has been using them in its arsenal for decades. Mr. Palmer added he understood William had been heavily involved in the decision to visit Poland, saying usually this kind of trip would be decided between the royal family and the government, but on this one we've been led to believe this was very much William's idea. He really wanted to come over to thank the Polish people for the support they've given to Ukrainians. They've taken in roughly 2 million refugees, but also to recognize the importance of the military effort, the relief effort, to support Ukrainians. Don't miss. Ukraine soldiers prefer maiming Putin's men instead of killing them, reveal. William meets President Duda in Warsaw on day 2 of last-minute visit. Insight, Putin's aide sends terrifying warning of nuclear apocalypse to West. Analysis, he added, it's not unreasonable to speculate, the fact that there is a royal visit like this, and that the palace is talking about British involvement in Ukraine. Some people might think this is softening us up for further involvement in the conflict, but I don't know that to be a fact. William, who arrived in Rzeszów and carried out engagements with soldiers and civilians there, released a statement through Kensington Palace, saying that he was visiting to personally thank the Polish and British troops working in close and crucial partnership. He added, I also want to pay tribute to the inspiring humanity of the Polish people. You have opened your hearts as much as your homes. The prince went on to meet with President Duda and lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier,